Hi, so today I'm going to do something a little bit different. Um, I've started doing a series on the Mazda 3. I started doing a series on I did a couple videos on the Scion. I'm going to be doing a couple videos on the Mercedes SLC 300 this weekend because I have to do an A service to it, so I'm going to walk through that. Today I want to talk about my GLC 43, kind of how I got here and what I like about it and what I don't like about it. I guess a review, if you will. Um, and then this is in preparation. I'm going to be doing a Eurocharge tune sometime. It's Wednesday, so sometime Friday or Monday of next week, depending on when they get my tune ready for me. Um, so this is a 2018 GLC 43 AMG. So they make the GLC. So when you think about Mercedes, Mercedes has four classes of vehicle. They have the A, the C, the E, and the S. A is their smallest vehicle and most compact vehicle. They make a CLA car and a GLA wagon. The C class is the next step up. For that, they have a C300 or C sedan, C um, convertible, and a C coupe. The GLC is the SUV. And then they have the E class and the GLE, and they have the S class and the GLS. Um, So I find the GLC to be a good, I find the C class to be a good spot to be in from a cost effectiveness standpoint, from a niceties standpoint, from a performance standpoint. So I've owned five Mercedes at this point. And really, the drive to go to Mercedes was one. I have a Mercedes dealership who's a customer of mine. I work for an IT company, so I have a Mercedes dealership that's a customer of mine. I like the owner quite a bit, and try to give business to the customers that give business to me. Secondly, I came to this realization. So I grew up with a bunch of Hondas. I went from Honda to I had a Nissan Frontier pickup at one point, and then I went from that to I went to a Ford Escape, um, and the Ford Escape was a good vehicle. I liked it quite a bit. It was the first year of the EcoBoost 2013 Escape with the new body style. Um, and that vehicle actually did a good job. I traded the Frontier on it because I wanted something with better gas mileage that could still tow a small trailer with like some ATVs on it. Um, and then when I moved to California, my lease was up on the Escape, and I went to get a Focus because I was driving a lot of miles and I wanted something that was a little bit more economical. Um, and My Escape was about $28,000. My Focus was like $27,000. They were nicer vehicles. The Escape was an SC. The Focus was a titanium. So, they had a lot of features. But I'm walking the dealership at this Mercedes dealership one day. I'm walking the car lot, and I walked up on a GLK, 2014 GLK. It had like 28,000 miles on it. And they were asking like 28,995 was the sticker on it. So I went and took it for a test drive. I really like the vehicle. It's a SUV similar in size to this. It was a 2014. And comparatively, it was about the same money as what I was spending on a Ford Focus. So I was like, well, crap, if I'm spending this much money on a Focus, I could be driving a Mercedes. So I decided that, I'd give it a shot. I traded the Focus on the Mercedes. Um, I only had that car for about 6 months, and I was stopped on a highway. There was a car in front of me was turning. I was stopped behind him, and I got hit in the rear end by a lifted Silverado. He was doing about 40 miles an hour, just plowed right into the back of me. And the car took the hit like you wouldn't believe. It was just post a picture here, but um, the car really took the hit, and I walked away. I was perfectly fine. Everything was cool. I was like, wow, this is a really safe vehicle. I was pretty happy about it. So the car got totaled, and I was looking for a replacement, and they didn't have any GLKs, so I ended up moving to an E class. I had an E coupe, and I like the E class quite a bit. Just having a coupe in Central California is a little difficult. The parking spaces aren't really made for it. It's kind of annoying with families. No good rear access. So eventually I traded that on another GLK that was identical to my first one and drove that for another 2 years. Um, At that point, we purchased the SLC, which we've now had for about a year. And then earlier this year, I traded my second GLK on this GLC. So historically, when we talk about Mercedes, like before 2016, before 2016, they had a 250, which was a four-cylinder, and then they had a 350, which was a V6. And the V6 is about 300 horsepower. It was just a normal, naturally aspirated V6. M276 is the engine code. And they had a 7-speed transmission. And those cars are pretty powerful. They went pretty well. Both of my GLKs and my E-Class had that same engine. I put collectively 100,000 miles on those three cars and had zero problems with the powertrain. So, moving to a GLC, the GLC, they make a 250, which is a four-cylinder turbo. They make a 300, which is a four-cylinder turbo. And then they also make a 43. Now, the 43 is a twin-turbo V6. So it's the same V6 that was in my GLK and my E-Class, but with two turbos. So it's like 383 horsepower and 382 foot-pounds of torque or something like that. And then they also make a 63 above it, which is the twin-turbo V8. So when I buy Mercedes vehicles, I tend to buy them as certified pre-owned cars. So these are cars that were driven for 3 years or less. They have less than 50,000 miles on them, and they have they've passed the inspection. They haven't been repainted. They haven't been in collision. They've kind of like gone through all of the testing and everything to be certified. What's cool about the certified vehicles is they come with the remainder of the factory warranty plus an additional year, and they give you unlimited mileage. So I drive a lot of miles. I drive about 40,000 miles a year. So for me, unlimited mileage is huge when we're talking about a factory warranty. And then additionally, you can purchase one more year for like $1,400 or two more years for $2,500, and you maintain that same extended warranty. So this vehicle is a 2018. I bought it in January or February of 2021. It's under warranty. I paid for 2 additional years, so I have warranty until the end of 2024 with unlimited mileage, and I'm in the beginning of 2021. So theoretically, I could probably put 150,000 miles in this car and not have to worry about it ever being out of warranty, which is huge for a car that has, a $40,000 engine or a $20,000 transmission or whatever the crazy rates are that they charge for the parts. And the performance is pretty good. It's better than the GLK. It's not quite as good as my Golf R that I used to own, but it's 0 to 60 in high fours. It's all-wheel drive. I put a tow hitch on it, so it tows really well. So yeah, and I paid I want to say 47 for this vehicle, and knew they're like 75. So it's a fair amount of a discount. My car had 8,000 miles on it when I bought it, so it's practically new. It was 2 years old, 8,000 miles on it. So I'll give kind of a walk around of the vehicle. The multi-spoke, I think they're 20-inch wheels. The multi-spoke 20-inch wheels. They do a 21 as well. I really do like the seats in this. It has these nice buckets where the GLK really didn't. The GLK was a little bit more comfort oriented, and this is a little bit more sport oriented, but all of the GLCs have the same seats. The seat controls are on the door like most Mercedes. This one has heated seats, the buttons up here, 3 memory positions for the driver. There's 3 memory positions for the passenger. Same thing on the same door. Because this is an AMG, when you first turn it on, it's got the AMG splash screen on the screen, and play on my screen right there. This car has the driving aids, so this car has the driving aids, so it'll actually follow the car in front of me. It will do the lane keep assist, which is what these two are, lane keep assist, and the automatic. They call it autopilot. It's got a 360-degree camera. I like the camera quite a bit. It does a really good job of showing what's behind me. The parking lines are really good. The parking lights turn when you turn the wheel, so it makes it really easy to back into tight spaces. Really, anybody could back up a Mercedes. It's awesome. Um, I have the simpler trim, which is just this black kind of fake wood. But I like it quite a bit. I think that it looks fairly good. This has the base audio system. They call it the Audio 20. So what that means is there's a 7-inch woofer up in the kick panel. There's a 4-inch in the door, 4-inch in the door, same thing in the backs, and there are no tweeters or anything else. So there will be probably an audio system upgrade in the future of this vehicle. I just haven't figured out exactly what I'm going to do for it yet. Either going to go full cows or do a match setup. This car has command navigation, which is the Mercedes-Benz, like the SD card-based navigation system. It works fairly well. I like it quite a bit, but it doesn't have CarPlay. So in 2018, you had to choose when you were buying the car, do you want command or do you want CarPlay? And the person who bought this car chose CarPlay or the command, which is interesting because CarPlay was really good at that point. So if there was one thing that I was going to change on the car, I would have preferred that it had CarPlay. Um, the the back seat's got quite a bit of room. I'm 5'10". That's my normal seating position. There's quite a bit of room in the back. I could sit behind myself comfortably, fairly easily. Like I said, the back door speakers are kind of the same deal. The single 4-inch in the back. The the adjustability of the headrest is really good. The adjustability of the seat is really good. It's very comfortable to be in for longer lengths of time. The power is good. It has these, super wide back tires. They're 285s. Looking in the back of the vehicle, there's quite a bit of storage. So like it's easy to take a trip to Costco, go get some groceries, stuff like that. Perfectly fine. It does have, there's like buttons here. They're electronic folding rear seats, and you'll see that it like moves my seat forward automatically to accommodate that. So there is quite a bit of space here with the seats folded down. There's storage below here. They give you kind of one of these crates from the factory. I added another crate in here. So I use those to kind of keep things from sliding around the back and scratching things up. So that works really well. And they give you one from the factory. I've added 2 more. These Insta crates are available at Costco. I like them quite a bit. I'll probably own them on every single car I ever own. There's a power source in the back. It does have air suspension because it's an AMG. So it has adjustable ride height. So when I put it in Sport Plus, it'll automatically drop the ride height all the way down. It's got 3 different ride height settings. There's like a comfort setting, a Sport, and a Sport Plus. There's also a button in the back for ease of loading that'll automatically lower the back end of the vehicle. I've never really found a need for that, but is what it is. It's a feature. The back has some storage. There's 2 cup holders in the back. There's another 12 volt and a regular power adapter, 150 watt inverter connected to that. You can fold the seats down from the front side by pressing these buttons. They're still electronic. They still slide the seats forward, which is cool. If somebody folds it down while you're driving down the road, it won't move your seat. It only does it if you're stopped. That's really it from like a walkthrough perspective. I daily drive this. It's super comfortable. The gas mileage isn't fantastic. I get about 21 as an average. I do a lot of highway driving, but I also I'm not the most conscientious driver on the road, so I could probably do a little bit better if I put some effort into it. I added a trailer hitch to it. So this is a Kurt manufacturing trailer hitch, which I'm not crazy about because it hangs below the vehicle quite a bit. But I ended up, I have to pull the back bumper and it gets mounted behind the rear impact sensors. So I added that in, and then I wired in the lights. I just have a harness that sits below the floor there, and I kind of shut it and negate whenever I need to use it. It's not every day that I'm towing a trailer, but I went back and forth between having a pickup truck and having an SUV, and I found that the times that I needed a pickup truck weren't, they weren't very great. So I kind of preferred to just have an SUV, which is kind of a nicer place to be most times, have the additional people carrying capacity. And then on the days that I wish I had a pickup truck, what I do is I go to like Home Depot or I go to U-Haul and I rent one of their trailers for the day. And it's, I think a U-Haul trailer is like 25 bucks for a day for a 4x8. And the, I might not even be that much. And the U-Haul trailer or the Home Depot trailer is a bigger trailer. It's like a 5x8. And I think that one's 35 bucks or something like that. So um, I've just found that, this car has a 4,000 pound towing capacity. It has no problem pulling a trailer. It runs great. Um, the back windows were factory tinted with about a 20%. I did a 20% on the fronts. Everything matches pretty well. Um, I think that the visibility is really good. The power is really good. I mean, it can pass just about anything on the highway. Um, all in all, I like the vehicle quite a bit. It's got these surround view cameras kind of everywhere that it uses for the cameras for parking and the driving assistance. So there's a camera there, there's a camera under the mirror, both sides, and there's a camera in the back. It kind of pops out of a little door here. So that's hidden normally so it doesn't get all dirty, like if you're driving in an area that's snowy. And yeah, I mean, that's honestly about it. I'll be doing my own maintenance to this vehicle as well, so I'll have some videos on that in the future. I did order a Eurocharge tune for this, which is supposed to give me like an extra 100 horsepower, so I'm interested to see how that works. The tuner, the handheld tuner came today, and I paired it to the car and then sent the information off so that they could create my tune and send it back to me. So we'll see how that goes. I do have a little bit of polish work that I need to do on the vehicle. I corrected it when I first got it, but I've got there's some haziness on the hood now. There's some scratches here and there on the doors and stuff, just some things that I have to go over. So I'm probably going to spend some time doing that. I don't know, probably not this weekend because I'll be working on the SLC, but maybe next weekend. But all in all, this is it's my fifth Mercedes. It's my fourth one with the same engine, albeit this one has 2 turbos, but they've been really solid. I haven't had a single warranty claim on any of them, not one. I haven't even had a single issue outside of service. Standard service, that's it. Their service requirements are a little bit higher than most cars, but I don't think that they're ridiculous. They need an oil change once a year or every 10,000 miles, whichever one you hit first. The oil change is 7 quarts of, this one takes 540. I use Liqui-Moly, which is on the Mercedes-Benz approved oil list. The filter, like all of the oil change stuff you can do from the top of the vehicle, which I'll show this weekend on the SLC. They're really, really nice to work on, honestly. They're comfortable, they're easy to come apart, they're easy to go back together, they're built very, very well. Standard service from a Mercedes-Benz dealership is normally $299 for an A service. Generally, there are coupons, you can get it for about $249. I'll do the service on the SLC for like $130. So, about half of what it would normally cost at a dealership. The AMGs have more expensive services. I've done the brake services, I've done the transmission services, I've done the normal engine A services, and I'll walk through an A on the SLC this weekend. But honestly, that's really about it. I mean, if there was anything that I wanted to change about the vehicle, I wish it had CarPlay instead of the command navigation. The command navigation is good. It's not as good as CarPlay. And then other than that, I think that it looks good. I wish that they didn't, that Mercedes does this thing where any car that has keyless go, meaning that the key sticks in your pocket and you can lock and unlock the car from the handles. Any one of those has this chrome on top. You don't need the chrome for it to function. So like if I remove the chrome, it'll still function fine, but you can't get black handles that support keyless go. So that's an annoyance because I don't really care for the black, so maybe if I was like going to keep it long term, which I don't keep cars very long because I drive them a lot. I might do like a chrome delete, but there isn't a whole lot of chrome here. There's a silver lip on the bottom. There's a little bit of chrome on the front, and then 2 silver bars on the roof and the wheels. I put black wheels on my GLK. Um, but yeah, I mean that's honestly about it. The car performs really well. I'm really happy with it. I've owned this one for I guess we're about 3 or 4 months now, and you know it's been great. And every one that I had before it was great, so I don't really expect it to be any different. Um, so that's really it. If you think, you know, one of the things I will say is I went from a $28,000 Ford to a $28,000 Mercedes, and the perception of people around you changes drastically. You pull into work driving a Mercedes, and they're like, "Oh, look at you! You must be doing," you know, it's just kind of ridiculous. Um, the cost differential between a well taken care of, reasonably used Mercedes and your average whatever, you can have a C300 for the same price as a Honda Accord. You know, you can have a Mercedes SUV for the same price as a Ford Escape if you're willing to take one that's a year or two old and maybe has 10 or 20,000 miles on it. But truthfully, with an unlimited mileage warranty, there really isn't much downside. You know, as long as you do your maintenance, which the maintenance is expensive, but also the maintenance on these happens less often than most other brands. You know, so a Honda gets oil changes. Well, my last Honda got oil changes every 5,000 miles. This gets them every 10,000 miles. So yeah, I mean, they're 3 times as expensive, but they're happening, you know, half as often. So my time is valuable. I think that, you know, it probably evens out to about the same thing. Um, their paint's really hard. I've got a couple rock chips and different things here and there. It is a little hard to polish and hard to get stuff out of because it's German. It's really hard. But um, yeah. So that's really about it. There will be a follow-up video at some point this weekend on the SLC service. There'll be a follow-up video on the Eurocharge tune for this. I'll kind of go through the process on that guy and you know what that looks like, and um, you know we'll see how that performs.